let's say one day social media crashes. So all of your Instagram posts, all of your YouTube videos, any Facebook picture you've ever posted, anything from the whole of social media is gone. How would you remember anything that ever happened? Well, the way I would remember it is my junk journal. So this is my junk journal. They start, I think, they start Christmas. Here we are. The ones before are like my introduction and then the rest. But this is my Christmas page, Boxing Day. But this is how I store my memories. I don't have it all on social media. I obviously still post, but I keep it inside this journal. So I have events. This is a month recap. I have stickers. That's a day out with my friend. But I keep them all enclosed in this. So if social media were to crash, I'd have it all stored. So what is junk journaling? So junk journaling is an idea formed from scrapbooking, which is where most of the origins are from. So scrapbooking is when you take pictures or items or pretty paper or tape and you make a like a spread of paper full of these just really pretty ways to just form. It's a very creative freedom. But scrapbooking originated from the 19th century when people used to store pressed flowers or hair to remember their loved ones when they passed away. So scrapbooking originated from that. Now, junk journaling is kind of a branch off of scrapbooking, because scrapbooking you had to buy paper, you had to print out the pictures, you had to go buy stickers and buy tape and buy all of these things to make your scrapbook spread. But junk journaling is kind of a way to you don't have to buy it. You can just take the things that you find while you're walking around. So for my explanation, I'm going to be showing you how I'm going to make a spread for the Ringo Starr concert that I went to recently. So basically, to start my spread, I go to the next page. So actually the most recent one was my May recap. And so right here is going to be where my Ringo Starr spread is going to be. So I'm going to do my best to flatten them out. The pages are really thick because they're full of so many memories. But the best way to do it is just find the flattest. I have big, thick binder clips, and I put binder clips on these pages while I start. So basically what you're going to need is, I know I said that most people junk journaling is like things you find. So what I'm going to use is I have this Trader Joe's newsletter for the month of June, I think. It might be May. The month of May, actually. But I was going to use this as the background. So normally you start with a background because you don't want all of the pages to blend together. So, this page looks different from this page because this one's blue and this one's red. And the same going on with this one's my beach trip, so this one's blue and this one's yellow. And, you just don't want any of them to look the same because they're all different parts of your life. So I start with getting a background. So this is going to be the background of my Ringo Starr page. Then, so this is junk, which is why it's not technically scrapbooking. Then, I found this is technically a cooler for Kohl's lights. I got it at my job, but it looks like a record. And I found it and I was like, that would be so great if I ever go to a concert again. And I did. So then I printed out a picture of the poster that I bought, and I'm gonna glue it right here, and it looks like a Ringo Starr record, which technically isn't true, but, and I'm always been a really big fan of dates, so I have the date printed out, which is why I chose this. Then next, I always like to print out a few pictures, so I printed out pictures of the stage, me and my sisters, who I went with, and then a picture of me before I went in. And then, of course, as I said earlier, stickers. This is my collection of stickers for specifically junk journaling, but I didn't buy a single one of these stickers. Either somebody gave them to me, or I found them, or like, you know, companies always are trying to advertise. These are from a brand named Melville. But I think I have a heart record in here, right here. So I may put this one on there because it's music. So I'm gonna put that one aside. But yeah, that's how to junk journal. You basically just connect and glue and tape. There's not really a tactic, just whatever you think looks pretty. So this is my favorite spread. This one is when I went to Amelia Island with my family, and I did buy this sticker, and this one flips open to show pictures of me and my sisters. That's a map of Amelia Island. That's a receipt of me buying a hat. But all in all, it's really pretty. And yeah. So how to practice is kind of difficult. How to practice, there is no way to actually practice this because it's not a skill you need to learn. It's more of a freedom. So I think the way to practice is just pick up things you find. If you think that they can match and collect into your grouping, like they fit the theme that you were going for originally, that's how you can practice. Just, you have to keep an eye out for the things you think are pretty. You never know, like keep an eye out for pictures, keep an eye out for photo booths. That's basically what to do. So, my main point was to teach you about one of my favorite things to do after either one of my jobs, something that just kind of shows off my creative side without having to actually sit down and paint and color. It's just cutting and gluing, and I think that anybody could do it. So yeah, this is my junk journal, and I hope that you find inspiration, even if your junk journal doesn't ever turn out like this. I hope that you can do it too, because I think anybody can do it. And thank you for taking the time to watch this.